Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we are just going to check out some knives I have in for sharpening, some that I have in for different reasons. We're just going to check out some cool knives. Some of them are pretty interesting. But first off, I just want to say I'm not on my camera. I've been struggling with it all day. I can't, for some reason, work my editing app. Not a big deal. We're going to wing it. We're back on the phone action. So, doing a little old-fashioned phone recording. Anyways, Kaiser Begleiter. So, if you guys might have heard me talking about, ordering some button lock parts just in case, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's one of the reasons why. Already I'm having issues. One, well, first of all, this thing is, the detent is like impossible to even, and sometimes it works, but then sometimes it locks up. Sometimes it does that, and then other times it locks up. The button, you can watch the plunge. Sometimes right there, it's not all the way out. Right there, it's all the way out. So I'm having some serious issues with this. And I mean, when it locks up, when it's closed, I cannot open it. Like, it's crazy. It's all over the place bad. So instead of sending it back, I am going to see what I can do myself, because these are moments when I can work on it and get the parts myself and possibly show you guys how to do that stuff if I'm successful. So that's also maybe a good reason to become a member, because I did start a join membership. So just so you guys know, I did start a join membership, which I'm going to offer, or I'm going to do a lot of sharpening on there and hopefully teach sharpening where people can join me, like basically one-on-one, but I'm going to do lives and stuff where it'll be just with the join members. So if you're a member, I'll do 2 lives a month where, and maybe even more. I started thinking about it. I might upload a bunch of other like little clips, and stuff like that. Especially if I run across things and, things that you might want to get involved in or whatever. But I'll for 100% do 2 lives a month just for the members. This is a wee ELEMENTUM, by the way. We're going to get into this. But just for the members, so that I can work with them and help them and figure out what's going on. What are they having issues with sharpening? And, just do basically like a live sharpening with freehand, fixed angle system, all different ways, possibly even working on knives, just like different things to where, I can help people work on stuff and figure things out. Now, this is a wee ELEMENTUM. Not a CIVIVI, a wee ELEMENTUM, modified by knife modders, Richie B and Lindy Lou. Now, this is Ken's ELEMENTUM. Now, you can see they modified the lock bar axis, which I did hear people were really complaining about the lock bar axis. This one is beautifully modified, so it's very nice. Now, you're probably wondering, why is it here? Well, maybe you're not. I guess that doesn't seem weird, but I'm going to explain why it's here. But we have a beautiful bark pattern. At least I think that's what it is, a bark pattern. It looks really cool. It might be just considered milling, but it is beautiful. Offers some really nice texturing. Looks great. But the reason why it's here is because Richie B noticed when he went to sharpen it or something that the grind is off. So he asked me if I could freehand it and fix, like make sure the angle's even on both sides. And absolutely I can do that. Now let me show you the issue, because I can see it clear as day. If you look at the swedge on this side, you can see how it goes all the way down to the edge right here. Right, now watch when I flip it over. You see how it stops way back here. So basically one side is going to be thicker and one side is thinner right here at the tip. So that's one problem. And also it makes it beak out. You see how this kind of beaks out just a little bit right here at the tip? Well, that's because the ones, it's kind of like the grind is kind of shifted like this. And one side is a little thicker, one side's a little thinner. So it kind of does this little beaked out motion. I've seen this on Spydercos quite often. I've seen it on a bunch of knives, to be honest. So what I will do is well, there's a couple ways I can do this. And maybe this is stuff I should save for the members. But when I'm going across my stone, so one thing I can do is I can just have two different angles, right? But I might not want my bevel to be different anywhere else but the tip. So what I could do is when I'm going across the stone, I can do like if you watch my wrist right now, I can do like a little lift to kind of get a deeper angle right there at the tip. And then on the other side, do just a regular angle, just a little more shallow. I won't do that little dip trick where I dip my angle or dip my wrist, but lots of different things, different ways I can fix that. So I'm going to work on that and get it out to the owner so he can enjoy his wee ELEMENTUM. I'll say this, I think this knife is pretty cool. I'm happy to see a premium version of the CIVIVI ELEMENTUM. I love the CIVIVI ELEMENTUM. I really do. I love it. Now, this one has 20 CV, titanium hardware, titanium parts. They do have a reversible deep carry clip. It's not inset, but it does have flat screws and it has a titanium hardware. It's not milled out on the inside or anything like that. These were, you know, pretty expensive. It's basically very similar to like the Wii Beacon and the Wii Subjugator, as in like build quality, parts, materials and everything else. So very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's about it. I want to say a little bit more about it, but you know, without carrying it, using it and everything else, I don't want to. Anyways, next, this might end up being a long video. Maybe I'll just save that one. That one was mine. All right, next we have, I've never seen one of these before. This is so cool. I thought it was a Strider at first, and you're gonna think so too. Looks like a Strider, right? And I actually have my Strider right here because it just came back from Richie B and Lindy Lou from Knife Modders. Shout out to Knife Modders, Richie B and Lindy Lou. Definitely go and follow their channel. You can get knife modding done by them. So here's my real Strider, a real M Strider, custom by Mick Strider. Now this is a buck. A what? A what? It's a buck. So Strider and Buck hooked up, I guess, and they used, you know, Strider's design and did a buck. Rock solid when it's open, but it is a liner lock. Heavy lockup. No detent. It is a slow roller. But I will say this, though. Mine has a detent, and I can flick it. I had my lock bar, my lock face carbonized by Knife Modders, but it has a detent, but once you get to here, it's smooth. Like, so for like a slow roll, or, you know, if you give some oomph, it's, you know, it deploys very good. Maybe I just need to, you know, keep deploying it, but I'm so used to bearings now that this type of action is just not that satisfying. But, you know, it does come out, so I'm not complaining too much. And I know these are more of a hard use solid knife, but I got play, and, you know, even when I tighten it all the way up, it's a custom version. I almost would rather just have a ProTech version or something like that. But anyways, this though, very solid, rock solid, but no detent at all. It's, you know, it's cool. And you get the Strider-esque, and it feels very similar to a Strider. I'll be honest. It feels very similar to a Strider. So you're definitely getting your custom Strider-ness out with something like this. But I can't flick it at all, though. With mine, I can absolutely do that. So maybe it's a little bit smoother. We have these serrations back here. This is going to be sharpened. We're going to put a real nice edge on it. Let's check out the next one he sent in. So the next one is something I actually own, but I want to show off his because it's pretty cool. It's nice to see different kinds. Oh, well, mine is different. This one has the Sponto on it, the dual ground. I have a spear point fuller version with the flipper tab, and then I have a drop point version, non-flipper. This one has a great detent, super good detent. Tri-way pivot, 20 CV. These little hinders are awesome. I love them. Now, I'll be honest, for the 3-inch versions, I'd rather not have the flipper because it's so much more comfortable without that flipper. And the thumb stud action is really good on these. So you can reverse flick them, all kinds of stuff. And the flipper tab works good on them, but it just, you know, in this grip, it pushes you back. In this grip, it's great, but it is a little tight, you know, especially with this thing kind of poking and wrapping around your finger. It's better to just not have it. Awesome knife. Let's get to the next one. Oh, back spacers. I love how they do multiple backspacers. See me, I like parts on a knife. I like all the hardware and the machine work and all the tools, and I love that stuff. That just makes it look super beefy to me. Somebody told me I haven't been showing backspacers really lately and showing the back, and I kind of feel bad because I should be. Now this is super interesting. I have no idea even what it is yet. What is this? I don't know. It almost seems like a custom. It's very cool. Does it have a lock bar insert? I don't think so. S30V USA. Beautiful sheep's foot blade shape. Does have a robust grind. Feels like washer action. Ooh, that is super smooth though. So washer action is great. And when I said, talking about the Strider a minute ago, like that I'm used to bearing action. I'm used to washer action too, but I guess just a smoother washer action. But you know, mine just might need to be broken in, so it might be that. That might be all it is. And I haven't worked on it. I haven't polished the washers. I haven't done anything. This is cool. Nice and comfortable in the hand. The blade is kind of big for the handle, but I like it. Cool pinch grip. You can really get into those utility cuts, and then you have belly too, so you have the best of both worlds where you can slice with the belly or use the tip. Yeah, this is cool, and I like how it has the finger grooves. Let's take a look around it really quick. So we have a nice rock pattern. It looks kind of cool too. It almost looks like fossils. Let me zoom in with that really quick. See how it looks kind of like a fossil or something? Nice, beautiful big thumb stud. Nice stone wash. Nice big hardware. 2 back spacers. Nice size stop pin. Deep carry clip with the button screws. Ooh, that looks scary. Those screws are kind of blocking your path. It is inset though, and I got to imagine it'd be pretty easy to find some flat screws that would fit that. No, this has got to be titanium. I don't imagine this is steel. Yeah, this is titanium. No steel lock bar insert, but when it's done right, you don't need one, especially when it's a certain thickness. So what I hear is, when titanium is a certain thickness, you don't need a lock bar insert. It's when it's thinner. But I have seen some of the thick ones get lock stick too. But I think a lot of times that has to do with the heat treat, but maybe not always. Very comfortable in the hand for such a little knife. This is pretty cool. All right, now